Skyrim is the game critic's whipping boy. To show how a game does something really well, it's easy to contrast it with Skyrim's bad example. I'm even more guilty of this than most. It's an easy out because Skyrim does everything poorly. Bland companions, linear quest lines, dry combat. It's an open world game without enough discovery. It's an immersive sim without things like multiple solutions to problems. It's a stealth game without decent stealth powers, a combat game without good game feel, and an arena shooter without the speed or fun. But I'd rather have just one Skyrim than all those games I compared it to. Because while it might be true that Skyrim does everything poorly, the most important part of that sentence is Skyrim does everything. Something magical happens when you put all those other games' ideas into one single box. It gives you the opportunity to be who you want to be. It's Skyrim's freedom of character that makes it special, that takes its many flawed pieces and turns them into a fantastic game. Ironically, Skyrim's freedom starts with you in chains. You're given no reason for your incarceration and no backstory. It's all up to your imagination. Even Fallout has a backstory which dictates, if not who you are, at least where you've come from. The blank slate approach is fairly unique to the Elder Scrolls, and it's key to opening up the possibilities for your character. Next is genuine character creation, something few games offer anymore. Each of Tamriel's 10 races launches you into different options for role-playing. You can be an oppressed Khajiit, or a golden-haired warrior fighting for the revenge of the Nords. As usual, this is something that the game responds to poorly. The racist Stormcloaks will accept the help of that oppressed Khajiit, and together they can make Skyrim great again. It's pushing believability and throwing immersion out the window, but like many things with Skyrim, those things are kind of the player's responsibility to maintain. Skyrim will never really say no to you. In other games I'd hate that, but here I love it because Skyrim is less about world building and more about character building. Maybe you have a great story in your head about being a collaborator, or hating your own kind for some reason. Or maybe you think it's hilarious and Skyrim is just a big farce to you. Skyrim's freedom makes the game whatever you want it to be, and it allows you to be whoever you want, right from the get-go. Who you are at character creation is expanded by your choices after it, starting with these 3 stones and which abilities you focus on. Maybe you'll play a while as a holy restoration cleric, but your skill set throughout the game is reasonably fluid. Nothing is blocked off or restricted due to your choices way back in character creation, giving you the freedom to evolve and change your character. So your holy restoration cleric can end up Breaking Bad after sliding into stealth and then necromancy. Your use of different skills reflects a changing identity. In most RPGs, as your power grows, your identity remains static. You can do that in Skyrim too, but I don't recommend it. On a smaller timescale, the classless system lets you adjust to situations on the fly, trying new and interesting things for comedic effect or that role-playing buzz. A weak mage can pick up that giant warhammer to end a guy. Your sausage fingers brute can try pickpocketing the greatest thief in the land. As a stealthy assassin, you can
walk up to your target, introduce yourself, melt their skin off, and then run like the wind.
These things can only happen in a game that has everything and gives you access to all of it, no matter who you started out as. Finally, it's the game's quest lines, and specifically how optional they all are, that lets you complete the building of your character. Other games give you choice over how to do things, but not really what you do. Every shepherd saves the galaxy, every Link defeats Ganon, even every Geralt fights the big bad. Skyrim's canon protagonist is the unnamed Dragonborn, destined to slay Alduin the World Eater, but that's only one possible story in Skyrim, and there are many others to choose from. In fact, except for the opening scene, it's possible to play Skyrim without any dragons at all, and it's secretly the best way to enjoy the game. Don't ever investigate Bleak Falls Barrow for the Jarl of Whiterun, and the Dovahkiin questline will never trigger. Dragons will never spawn in the skies, freeing you to live a more down-to-earth life. You can be a soldier, the wise leader of Skyrim's persecuted mages guild, a petty thief, or even a serial murderer. You have the freedom to be who you choose. The best thing about any of these roles is that, unlike other games, you can walk away from them at any time and into new ones. One of my characters was a disturbed Dark Brotherhood assassin who, inspired by the wise words of the Emperor of Tamriel, had a sudden change of heart. She abandoned her mission, walked out on the Brotherhood, and reformed as an Imperial soldier. You see, in Skyrim you can build not only your own character, but your own character arc. Some seasons later, she retired with her husband in the house they built together, putting her sword down and her misdeeds behind her. Despite unfinished questlines, her story had closure. I may be alone here, but Skyrim is the only place I can retire characters on my terms, where I choose the time and place of the ending instead of reaching the game's prescribed finale and denouement. You can't retire most RPG protagonists like this because you never really have control of their destiny in the first place. Skyrim is flawed but fascinating. It's a bad game I've enjoyed more than many greater ones. The problem with doing everything is that even with the mighty Elder Scrolls budget, you can't possibly do everything well. But precisely because Skyrim offers so much freedom and never says no to you, it's whatever you want it to be, even when that changes over the course of a single playthrough. You can create your own tale of redemption, or of a world's savior's fall from grace into vampirism and madness. It can be an adventure, a comedy, or a tragedy. Yeah, if you take Skyrim apart and analyse each piece, it comes up short. Way short. But put it all together and those pieces make something special. They make the only role-playing game in which your role is really up to you. The next video will be all about NetHacks, so subscribe for that. Also check out my podcast with Gamer Ray and maybe give me $1 on Patreon. Thanks.